yeah, on my card.
Hey, mystical thought thinkers. It's George here with Mystical Thoughts. And well, obviously you're new because I'm just starting this channel. I don't know what I want to do, but I know I want to get started into YouTube. But the problem is that I keep procrastinating. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and just start posting content. And I do listen to other YouTubers, and they do recommend that you get better as you go, but publish content. And for me, I personally believe that that is I have the drive. Okay, cut. Take two. So my content, I want it to be about me. Okay, it's gonna be about me, and guess what I think about is you. So me plus you equals YouTube. Alright, YouTube. So I really want, there's a couple of things that I want to really um, focus on. I'll have some things written on the calendar here that I have kind of my intentions set on, and I think this is a great place to reveal parts of me that I don't show at different places, like my home life or my work life and my love life. I think this is a great opportunity to express myself in different ways and just show openness and honesty that honestly doesn't always have to be pretty to another perspective that doesn't agree with it, and ugly doesn't have to mean ugly to somebody who thinks it's ugly. Anyways, so I'm hoping to use YouTube to dedicate myself to progress in my life, because I do feel that I am going places in life, but for some reason, I have trouble in two areas. And that's one, committing to those areas, and two, starting those areas. So if you see me drop out of YouTube for a while, just know that I warned you ahead of time. However, I do plan on staying here for quite some time. Not just because of the opportunity, but I don't know. I feel like I am in a part of my life that I am ready to expand myself. I'm ready to network. I'm ready to do some public speaking on like my type of content. And I think that this is a great opportunity to introduce myself and really saying a whole lot of nothing with something. Okay. So who I am, if I was to see myself as the best version of me, which I am not, because I'm always creating a better version of me. If I'm creating a better version of me, I can't be the best version of me. So the best version of me is the creating version of me, the version of me that sees opportunity and takes on opportunity in a opportunist way. So not just taking every crumb, nickel, and dime, but also being patient enough to understand that when you have the value that you have within yourself, you can share that value multiple times and duplicate that value. And that is what I think a business is. A business is not essentially about making money and making profit and making something for the individual to profit from. A business, especially a successful business, is one that can profit out of the contribution of sharing and giving the value that is creative, which I get it. It's very rewarding. That's why there's tax benefits and all these fun things to employ our American fellows. And nowadays we have conquered border lines without even taking down the walls of the borders. So even though we're still United States, or I'm still a American, and I'm born in the United States, and the United States as a whole, within the states, and then also with Alaska and Hawaii. And although Puerto Rico is not owned by the U.S., there is some type of alliance and some type of shared shared, I don't know, tribe. I'm not sure what to call it. I'm not a historian. Actually, I don't have any degrees, okay, y'all? I don't have any degrees. I am on my 4th college attempt. Well, next time that I start college, I'll be on my 4th college attempt. So don't take me as a professional in a way that you guys want to knick-knack everything that I say, and I'm not speaking to the listeners. I'm talking about the trolls, because I know you're out there just trying to improve me. And I already tell you that I am improving myself, okay? And I appreciate you for trying to point out the behaviors that I need to improve on and the information. But truly, there's information everywhere, and honestly, it's all valueless. It's only valuable to the person that holds value to it. The same way there's only beauty in the beholder, baby. So whatever that means to you, I hope you take it with a grain of salt, because I'm still here to stay, and I'm gonna go ahead and express myself. Alright, so some of the things that I am working on is obviously fitness. I obviously want to obtain the body of my dreams, which to me that has been condensed. I have not educated myself in different ways to know what that is, but I do see the importance in educating myself, like percentage body fat and body mass and all that other physique terms that you use, and not just going off the scale. What my dream body looks like right now with the education that I have, because that's what I got to go off of. Of course, I can always make improvements in my vocabulary, but if I was always working on myself, then I wouldn't be able to show off the work that I have from where I came from, because I was a FDCBA student, so my grades were all across the boards, from elementary school to high school, even to college. But the cool thing is, I'm pretty dedicated. Once I have my eyesight and my target in line, I do continuously overthink about things of my goals and how can I achieve it, what do I have to do, the sacrifices that I need to make, the improvements that I need to acquire, all this stuff, and the list goes on, because it won't stop until I take a change of direction, and that change of direction is to express myself. So with that being said, YouTube is going to be great for this, and if you want to start a YouTube channel to express yourself, I think you should, because literally we're going to be the teachers and education system. Like, once things in YouTube gets filtered, like people get paid off for their content rather than just getting paid for the AdSense, and of course most of the things that YouTube creators are getting paid for is for ads. So regardless if they get ad deals or AdSense, they are actually not getting paid for their actual time in creation. They're just getting paid for their ads. So it really doesn't matter how engaging or how engaging your channel is. It just matters on how reliable are you to get this content out, because engagement can change, and sometimes engagement is out of your control because of the trends that happen. So and sometimes engagement isn't really necessarily actual engagement, because there's a lot of different factors that play into engagement. Engagement can lead to false engagement or real engagement, and you can't really tell the two with the analysis and the information that we're given by the algorithm or the analytical side. So I think what's most important is your confidence, 1. 2 is to be true to yourself, which is your expression. So there is no actually truest version of you. It's just true expressions of yourself. So you can change how you dress, you can change how you talk, you can change all those features about you and still be the truest version of you. I think the truest version of you goes down to the core and what you believe in. And if you are doing something you believe in, regardless if it's positive or negative to a different eye beholders, the way somebody envisions your life to look like, even if it's out of line of somebody else's vision, if it's truly meant for you and you believe it in your core, then you should go for it. Go for it with all that you can, but also, however, you should take into consideration that you will know when you're ready, and as long as you keep trying and giving effort, you'll have to make some type of progression, and then you have to use those progressions and remember where you were 5 years ago and remember your situation as a whole, because you might be wanting to improve your area in one area, but you actually improved in a different area. And this has to do with manifestation. Sometimes when we manifest things and use affirmations, we focus so tightly on one thing that we decide to see it as one vision, not knowing that we are creating like an avalanche on the other side. And it's once we release that, it's not that this magically appears because the same force is being used from the manifester, but it's more that my focus is gone from here, from the spotlight of what I thought I was creating, and then I get to notice in my vision all of this stuff, and it's like, whoa, and then all of this exists, and then it's like, wow, like this was just a miracle, when all along I was working towards something, that something just wasn't what I thought that something was. And that's kind of how manifestation works. It's always in progress, it's always in effect. And sometimes manifestation isn't actually about manifesting from the 3D. I actually don't think manifesting is a 3D term or element. Manifesting is more in the mind of the intellectual connections. So it's more of a sensory, and it's the system of the sensory. So you can probably manifest a business deal by intuitively understanding a person's presence and what they represent. So their vibe. If there's 5 people in the room and you intuitively feel who, and you can only talk to one person, you intuitively feel who that person is to give you a business deal. Or if you have 5 topics to pick from, you can intuitively feel what that topic, you can manifest which direction. It's more of a direction and a sense of the direction. And then once you build that confidence and repeating that, you can start creating and elaborating on those manifestations, and you can gain more detail. And as you gain more detail, that same result becomes closer and more familiar. So once something becomes detailed and more familiar, then it becomes bigger and bigger, and you are actually working in that energy field and you have entered your manifestation. So it's not like you just created something and then it was like poof, you magically walked into the, like, oh gosh, which is cool. I'm glad all the content and different information out there, because I don't think these content is misinformation. I think it's just content that's created for deliberation. It's for deliverance. I think we are using this internet and this technology to pass information. We are in the year of Aquarius, and that does have to do with technology. So we are testing boundaries. We are creating things that are not necessarily physically true, but what is true right now. We're in a creative state. We don't have the final product. So unfortunately, we are just kind of submerged with the details of the stages that we're in, and no stage is the final stage until the final stage is the final stage, and we are still here creating different stages. So yeah, anyways, that's just a little brief of my favorite type of topics, my things to talk about. I don't know the subject or category those things are for, but it's definitely something that I enjoy talking about. I don't got the facts. I'm just expressing my information to you and to the future. And this is created from my past, from my experience, from things that I got here. That's how I got here. I got here because I utilized my experiences and I utilized my emotions. So I don't know, those who have high emotions and strong mental power, if you are on the verge of high intensity emotions that you don't understand, or if you possibly think that you're depressed or you know somebody around you that's depressed, feel free to watch my 4-video series on depression. It just talks about 4 different I have 4 different videos that talk about 4 different topics of depression. The first topic is the stages that I believe that I came up with to talk about. The first video is about the stages, how I put together 3 stages of depression. And then the second video is about research that I've done with actual doctors, of course, just online. So I didn't really go thoroughly. I just intuitively manifested the videos to talk about. And then the third video is about my personal experience with depression. And the 4th video is the conclusion and just kind of recapping what we talked about within the series of the videos. So if you are interested, mental health is definitely a part of my channel here. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm still trying to do it. And we're just gonna get through it. So with Mystical Thoughts, thank you for listening. Stay tuned. Peace.
Oh, that was so good. Oh my God. You were just so cute, Isabel. You were just in the video. You just did such a good job, my girl. Oh my gosh, my girl. Yes, that was such a good job. That was such a good job, my honey buddy.